Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. Came across a wrestling article. One of my favorite discussions that we always have each and every year is, where Wrestlemania is going to be. Overall, one of the heaviest rumored spots for Wrestlemania would be Minnesota. Minnesota, honestly was kind of looked at as one of the worst places that the NFL's ever held the Super Bowl. A lot of the media and a lot of the players that went there not to play in the Super Bowl have been pretty outspoken since about 2000. I believe that Super Bowl was 2018. That really there was kind of like nothing to do. The Super Bowl being held in February, it's freaking cold there. There was like the Mall of America that people went to where they held like a lot of the media day kind of stuff with the player interviews and things like that. They did say there was good ways to get around, a lot of like tunnels and things to make it where you didn't have to actually go outside that much, which is a plus. Minnesota in springtime, I don't really know if it's going to be that much better. I do know that Minneapolis, they opened up the open air stadium for the Minnesota Twins. I think it's named after the Target. Is it, or is that the where the Timberwolves play? Is the Target Center? But so I guess that they believe that, once springtime comes, the weather is going to be good. I do know they've had a few of those freak, snowstorms that snows out baseball games, which is always like a weird possibility out there. But, there's always that, that northeast is early spring. That is something that could happen. So I think that the money's there, that they really want Wrestlemania to come to them. We've seen the way that it's boosted economies, like when they went to Santa Clara and things like that. They've always put big articles out about how much money came into the local economy that week because of WWE and Wrestlemania being there. But the one rumor that sort of got started last week was Vegas. And when they opened the new stadium, I was pretty high on Vegas getting a Wrestlemania. It is a destination city, but as we saw last week with the Super Bowl, I think that there's so much to do in Las Vegas that's one of the reasons why this last Super Bowl, there was really no buzz going into it. There was no news coming out of each team. Both teams were kind of keeping quiet. There was no sightings of seeing guys around town, and you would think that we've always been taught about Las Vegas with the gambling and the alcohol and the women, that a lot of people get into trouble, but they pretty much got out of town scot-free with no black eye headlines, even from the people that were just sort of visiting, being in town for media and things like that. The other players, there's just everything was spread around so much that I think that it wasn't as chaotic as a lot of people thought it was going to be. With the connection, with TKO and UFC having set up a base in Las Vegas, I could see that maybe they would want to have Wrestlemania be there. We've already seen WWE go there for a major event in the past. I believe it was SummerSlam 2021 is when they went there, and that was one of the they're like we're gonna do this. We're back out on the towns. We're not doing the Thunderdome anymore, and they were able to handle it really, really well. The other event venue that they have, they've done Money in the Bank there before, T-Mobile Arena. Maybe they would want to have their SmackDowns and their Raws, the NXT events be there. So I think that would be awesome. I definitely think that when they do Double or Nothing with AEW, that's kind of like a place that a lot of people want to go to, because you're always going to get like your wrestling events with your wrestling side shows, but there's also going to be other things in Vegas that you can do that are not 100% wrestling ready. There's always a rumor that maybe that they would head overseas and do London, with them kind of doing the Berlin show, with them doing Perth for the Elimination Chamber. London got Money in the Bank not that long ago. You're able to see that they're able to get these like secondary shows, but they never really got one of the major shows since SummerSlam 1992. The biggest drawback, of course, of WWE, even though it's a worldwide company, a majority of its base is here in North America, and they would have to wake up and watch WrestleMania, a 2-night event, kind of like during the daytime, and you gotta wonder if people would want to watch it live and not stream it, that they would be having to give up a Saturday and a Sunday daytime, when there's kids have softball or this, that, and the other. It would be the only negative for it. As of right now, I would lean towards Vegas more than anything else. I really wanted to go to WrestleMania this year. I just got the itch one day and I started looking into it. I found WrestleCon. I was going to get the WrestleCon package with the WrestleCon hotel. I found out that I found a flight to go into the Philly. Philly was like 30 minutes from the hotel. It was like a good 30 minutes from where WrestleMania was being held. So it was like this honestly fits together as being pretty easy. And then once I really found out that I had missed the WrestleMania pre-sale and I was going to have to buy a secondary hand ticket like through a StubHub or like Verified Ticketmaster or something like that, and pay like sort of like, it wasn't a huge price, but we were looking at like $1,200 for a combo ticket for Saturday and Sunday, for not really sitting in the hundreds. I think it was a club level seat. I just kind of you know what, I don't really know anybody else going. I'll be by myself. I'm not really ready to commit to do this. But WrestleMania is something that I really want to do. I do have the handshake agreement with Assault and Battery, Ravi, that as long as the Royal Rumble is stateside, that will go next year. So hey, it could be one hell of a wrestling year next year. So let's cross our fingers. I can honestly say that I'm hoping for Vegas, but let's see what it is supposed to be.